Hi everyone, I'm Anne,
I'm Brian.
and we're gonna do our little yoga practice with you today. So today we're starting on our backs. And if you have a strap or strap-like object, a belt, a tie, a scarf, even a sweatshirt rolled up or a towel rolled up, keep it handy. We're gonna use it in a minute. So for now, you can come on down, laying on the back. Feet can be about a little wider than hips width distance apart, or in sirsasana legs if you want. Knees knocking together if your feet are soles down on the mat. And we're just gonna lay back here for a minute and breathe. So if you want, you can place your hands on your belly so you can start to get an idea of what it feels like to breathe into the belly. So as we inhale, you'll feel the belly rise just a little bit. And then as you exhale, you'll feel the belly fall back down towards the mat. So just focusing on that belly breath for now. Inhale, feeling the belly rise, and exhale. Feeling the belly fall. Again, inhaling. And exhaling, coming to your body, coming to your practice, coming to the mat. When you're ready, everybody can bring their knees up to their chest and just hold your hands on your knees like this. And again, inhale. And exhale. So as you inhale, you might feel your belly rise up towards your thighs. And as you exhale, you might feel your belly fall down towards the spine. But you also might find that as you inhale, you feel the pelvic floor expand. And then as you exhale, you feel the pelvic floor come back together. So that's the feeling we want to focus on now. That's technically the first part of what we were taught as 4-part breathing. Inhaling first to feel the pelvic floor expand. Then the belly rises. Exhaling, feeling the belly fall, and the pelvic floor come back towards itself. And again, inhaling, feeling the pelvic floor expand. Belly rise. Exhale, feeling the belly fall back towards the ground, pelvic floor comes back together. Now, if you want, you can bring your feet back to soles on the mat, knees knocking, or legs all the way down in Shavasana. We're going to take our hands up towards our ribs now. So as you inhale, see if you can feel the pelvic floor expand in this position and the belly rise, and then the ribs expand a little to each side. So give that a try. Deep inhale. Ribs rise up and out. And then as you exhale, ribs come back down and in, belly comes back towards the spine, pelvic floor comes back up. Inhaling, pelvic floor comes down and out, belly comes up, ribs come up and out. Exhale, ribs come back down, pelvic floor, belly comes back down, pelvic floor lifts gently on its own. Try that a few times on your own. And so for the last part of 4-part breathing, bring your hands to your upper pectoral muscles. So for those of you with breasts, it's right above your breasts. For those of you without breasts, it's right on where your breasts would be. So as you inhale this time, you'll feel the pelvic floor expand, belly rise, ribs fan out up and to the side. And the pectoral muscles will come up a little bit at the top of the inhale. So give that a try. Inhaling for the pelvic floor, belly, ribs, pectoral muscles. And as you exhale, the pectoral muscles fall back down again, ribs come back in, belly comes back towards spine, pelvic floor comes gently up on the tongue. Try that a few times. Pelvic floor, belly, ribs, pecs. Exhaling, pecs, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. It's as if as you inhale, you're filling up a tall cup of water. And as you exhale, the water is bubbling out from the top over the sides until the water, the glass is empty. Awkward metaphor, I know. Maybe as you exhale, you pour out the glass from the top to the bottom. Very nice. Now when you're ready, let's bring both knees in towards the chest again. And just gently rock side to side, bringing some motion into the spine. We're gonna warm up the hips a little bit before coming up today. We're taking it slow. So come back to stillness on your back and interlace both fingers around your right knee. You can bring the sole of your left foot to the mat, having your left knee point straight up towards the ceiling, or you can straighten out that left leg down the mat. Draw that right knee in towards the center of the chest for wind relieving posture, Pavanmuktasana. And then when you're ready, we'll take that right knee out towards the right shoulder. Woo! Maybe you feel a little something fun in your upper quadricep muscle as it goes past your hip bone. And then from here, we're going to do something kind of funny. Keep your right hand wrapped around your right knee. Take your left hand to your left ankle and slowly draw the left ankle towards your left shoulder. So it's like we're doing a king pigeon posture on our back here. You can take the right hand off the right knee, place the right hand on the inside of the right thigh here, right where the knee is, just below the knee, and press that right thigh away from you, bringing that right shin parallel to the ground. It's okay if the right shin is far away from you. Push down with the right hip, like you're trying to draw the right hip towards the left foot. And then from here, we grab our little handy dandy strap. A rare treat when I get to say handy dandy in a yoga class. And Brian's gonna take us through some strappy type behavior, I think, I hope.
So you can take the strap around the bottom of the foot and just straighten the leg up towards the ceiling. Keep a bend in the knee if that is, I recommend keeping a bend in the knee in general, just like the tiniest bend. We don't want to hyperextend or lock the knee in place. And we're going to give a gentle pull. So we're bringing the leg up towards, towards our head, sort of. For many of us, it won't make it there anywhere close, but that's okay. So you're feeling that pull on the hamstrings.
The right hamstring.
Just breathe into this, try to relax into it. Then you can take the strap into both ends of the strap into the right hand. You can take the left hand out to the side. And we're just gonna let that leg open out to the right. And you can go as far as is comfortable for you. Most of us probably won't make it the leg to the floor. So if you have something like a block or a pillow or anything like that, you can also feel free to place that under the leg for support. And if you're using one of these like rectangular blocks like this, you might even find as you go, you might be able to adjust it. You might find a little more opening. Maybe you can, I can't lower it just that low just yet. Maybe I can lower it this low. So there you go. But either way, wherever you are, again, just breathing into it. And just even remembering to connect with that 4-part breathing that we were mentioning at the beginning of the class. You'll find with like deep breathing and just slow stretching, the muscle will actually relax and you'll get a little bit more opening as with time. And then we're going to inhale that leg back up to center. And you can take both ends of the strap into the left foot.
Left hand.
Left hand, thank you, into the left hand. And we're gonna take the left leg over to the side. Now at first, let's keep the left hip on the ground. So we're still aiming the foot pretty high. And we're just feeling that stretch by keeping the right hip on the ground. Yes, you should feel it all down like the right side of that right leg. And then when you're ready, you can let that hip come up off the ground and maybe let the right leg fall over to the left. And again, took my block. I'll lay a little behind it. And again, if you have a block, you feel free to let the leg kind of hang out on the block. Just breathe into this again, slow, deep breathing. Sometimes when we get into, stretchy postures that challenge us, we might find ourselves breathing slow or even holding the breath. And this is actually the last thing you want to do. This is not helping with the stretch at all. It's making it even harder. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale that leg back up. Maybe one more time, take it into both hands, give a gentle little tug. We're not trying to tweak it or jerk it real hard, just a little tug. And then let's just go ahead and let that, you take the strap off, keep the leg up, keep the foot activated, and we're just going to gently let that foot fall to the ground. Now you probably have two very different feeling legs at this point.
Ooh, my right leg is so much longer than my left.
So Anne's gonna take us through the first half of that, and then I'll take us through the second half of that. We're gonna even these legs out.
Let's even the legs out. So first, let's just kind of turn the toes back and forth and kind of just, wake up the hips even more than we already woke them up just now. And then let's again bend both knees, bring them up towards the chest, gently rock side to side, give the low back a little massage here. And then when you're ready, come to stillness. Interlace the fingers of both hands around the left knee this time, and you can either bring the sole of the right foot to the mat, pointing the right knee up towards the ceiling, or you can straighten that right leg down the mat, continuing to draw that left knee in towards the center of the chest. And when you're ready, you can let that left knee come out towards the left shoulder, possibly feeling the left quadricep muscle do a little funny thing, maybe as it goes by the left hip bone there. And then keeping the left hand wrapped around the front of the left knee, you can release the right hand and reach for the left ankle with the right hand. Draw the left ankle towards your right side. It's like we're coming into our reclining ekapadarajakapotasana, which is a very long 11-syllable Sanskrit word for king pigeon. Although it translates literally as something else, I think. My knowledge of Sanskrit's not super strong, so I think that means half foot, king, head, posture, something like that. So when you're ready, you can take the left hand, take it to the inside of the left thigh, and push the left thigh away from you, bringing that left shin parallel to the ground here. So again, getting deeper into the stretch here as we lay on our backs. We'll do this on our front later on in this practice today. And then when you're ready, you can release, find your strap.
We'll take the strap again around the middle of the foot, maybe the ball of the foot, and we'll take the legs straight up towards the sky. Again, feeling totally free to keep a little bend in that knee, so we're not locking the knee, we're not overextending it, hyperextending it, and giving a gentle pull towards the head.
One word of caution here. It's very easy to bring the shoulders up off the ground as you do this. Try to draw the shoulders back down into their sockets. Try to draw the shoulder blades together and bend at the elbows as you draw that foot towards your face.
Then we're going to take both ends of the strap into the left hand. You can take the right arm out to the right just for a counterbalance here. And as you can exhale, slowly lowering that left leg out to the left. Ah, yes. A block is right in place. And so if you have a block there and you want to support that leg, feel free to use it. You can also just let it hover in the air if you don't have a block. That's totally okay too. And if you're one of those extremely fortunate people that can get the leg all the way to the ground, well then maybe you don't even need any blocks.
I don't know if it's fortunate though. Your hips might need a little support.
Yeah. If it hurts when you get it there, then yes or not.
That's very unfortunate. If you ripped up your ligaments in your thighs and your psoas muscle.
Breathing deep into the stretch, letting the stretch come slowly. Not forcing anything.
Trying to return to the 4-part breathing here if you can. So releasing from the pelvic floor on the inhale, the belly, the ribs, the pectorals. And then as you exhale, pectorals come back down, ribs come back in, belly comes back towards spine, pelvic floor gently lifts.
You're going to inhale that leg right back up to center. We'll take both ends of the strap now into the right hand. And at first, keeping that right hip or that left hip on the earth, we're going to bring that left leg over. Try keeping it a little high, like it's towards the head, And you will definitely feel the left side of that left leg light up a bit. Go easy. We want it to light up, but we don't want it to, be excruciating and unbearable. And then on the exhale, you can let that left hip come off of the ground. You can let that left leg fall over to the left. And
To the right.
To the right. Left leg fall over to the right. And you can feel free again to, place a block under that left leg for support. And then we're going to inhale that leg right back up towards the sky. Again, taking the strap into both hands. You can give a gentle tug, bringing that foot towards the head. Keeping that leg up, we're going to release the strap, and we'll gently let that leg fall towards the earth.
There you go. Now your legs are even, right?
And again, let's take those legs, take the feet, and you can windshield wiper them. Just turn them in and out. And maybe one more time, bringing the knees into the chest, hugging them in. And you can make little circles with your knees, giving yourself a massage for the sacrum. And switch that direction, making those circles in the other direction.
While we're down here, I want to get in a little bit of a twofer. Let's do some more of the wind relieving practices, which are in this specific case, Gulf chakra, which is the rotation of the ankles, rotation of the knees, and then also rotation from the thighs, as well as a little teensy bit of abdominal engagement here. So it depends how much abdominal engagement you want. You can either use your strap or not. If you want, you can have your strap behind your knees, bring your legs to parallel with the ground. So my shins are parallel with the ground, my thighs are perpendicular with the ground, and I'm just gonna start drawing little circles with my ankles. If you want to make this more of an abdominal engaging, strengthening exercise, you can remove the strap, draw the knees together, lift the head off the ground, interlace the fingers of both hands behind the head, and just use the upper abdominal muscles to keep the head off the ground here. So rotating the ankles first in one direction for a little while. And then when you're ready, we'll switch the direction. Take those little ankle rotations the other way. If you feel like your neck and your head are holding themselves up, release that tension in the neck and the head. If you feel like the arms are holding the head up, release the arms for a minute, just to see what it feels like to have the upper abdominals doing all the work here. That's right. The top of your core is doing the work here. If you're doing it that way. Everybody can bring their head down to the mat. Now draw the knees in towards the chest again. Rock side to side for just a second. Resetting. So now we'll move it up to the knees. So same position, same options. You can put a strap behind the knees if you want. The shins are parallel to the ground. Thighs are perpendicular. If you want to make this more of an abdominal engaging exercise, same thing. Take the strap off, draw the knees together. This time we're drawing circles with the entire foot. Again, if you want to engage the upper abdomen, you can lift the head off the ground with the upper abdomen And just gently make a little hand basket by interlacing the fingers and holding behind the occiput. That's the little pointy out of the back of the head bone where Bindu chakra is located. And then when you're ready, we'll switch direction, not as many for this set of rotations as it was for the ankles. And then when you're ready, release everything again, draw the knees in towards the chest. Again, gently rock side to side. All right, last set of rotations. This time we're going to be rotating from the thigh or from the hip sockets. So I'll show it real quick. Again, it's your option whether you want to bring your head off the ground or not. You can keep the head on the ground if you want. You can keep the hands on the belly if you like. From here, I'm going to draw the knees in towards the chest, take them out to the side so my knees open up wide, bring them down, they meet together again, and then draw them back up towards the chest. So if you wish to engage the upper abdomen here, feel free. And we'll take the knees in circles like this. Just doing a few. Exploring space. They can be little circles or big circles. And then when you're ready, next time the knees come up towards the chest, we'll switch directions. So this time, taking the knees down, then out, up, and in. And then when you're ready, letting the head come back down, bringing the hands behind the knees. This time, let's start rocking back and forth, up and down on our spine. If this is hard on your spine, feel free to rock on one side of the spine and then the other side of the spine. You don't have to rock directly up and down the middle of the body here. Then eventually, we're going to rock our way up to seated. So here we are. Want to do a little cat and cow, warm up the spine some more?
Sure, so let's swing the legs out to one side, bring them behind us. We'll come on to hands and knees, lining up wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to inhale as the tailbone comes up, belly drops, head comes up. This is cow.
Move.
Exhale, drop the tailbone, round the spine, drop the head. This is cat.
Feel free to put a blanket under your knees here if you like.
Animal sounds are optional. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Just continuing, making it fluid. Slowly waking up the spine now. We've done all that work for the lower half of the body. Now we're going to start to wake up the upper half. And then we're going to get a circular motion into this. So when next time you inhale into cow and exhale round into cat, and then continuing that rounding off to the other side, coming back into cow. So now it's like we're making a circular motion with the torso. You can let the head just sort of relax and go with the flow of the spine. So not holding it rigid in any way. And then when you're ready, just switch the direction that you're drawing that circle.
Again, see if you can return to that 4-part breathing as you inhale. Inhaling from the pelvic floor, belly, ribs, upper chest. Exhaling upper chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor.
And we'll just eventually make our way back to center to a tabletop position.
Since we're working our way up, let's do a little something here for our shoulders in the form of.
That would be amazing. We are gonna do
Thread the needle.
threading the needle.
Thread the needle.
So we'll start with the let's spread the fingers really wide on the right hand. So this is gonna be our supporting arm for now. And we're gonna turn the body to the left and reach that left arm up towards the sky. A little twist here to the left. And then on an exhale, we're gonna thread the needle. So we'll take that left arm underneath of the right arm. You can come down to the right shoulder and the right ear. If you can't make it all the way down there, feel free to use a block or a blanket or some kind of support. And we're gonna breathe into this again, always engaging that 4-part breathing in any posture we're doing. If you want to get more of a twist here, you can place the right hand on top of the left hand, interlace the fingers, and try straightening that top arm. That would help you twist a little bit more. And if you like doing the pretzel-y thing, you can inhale that right arm up towards the sky, bring it down to the sacrum, and then from there you can wind it around, maybe find the outer upper left thigh with that hand.
Then if you want to challenge your balance, you have 2 options. You can either tuck the toes of the right foot and slide the right foot straight back. Ooh.
There you go.
Challenging your balance that much. Lifting the right foot off of the ground, keeping it parallel to the ground. Or
keeping your right toes pointed towards the earth.
right, or this might be a little easier for me today, or you can tuck the toes of the right foot and slide the right foot out towards the right side. So if your head is at 12 o'clock on the clock face, your right foot is at 3 o'clock, then lift the right foot off of the ground. This will engage the glutes in a way that I'm sure there are other poses that engage the glutes like this, but I just can't think of them right now. So when you're ready, bend the right knee, return the right knee back to where it was before, just under the right hip.
And we're gonna come out of this, if you have your right hand curled around the left side, we're gonna inhale that right arm up to the sky. No matter where your hand is, we're gonna take that right hand down underneath of the right shoulder. We're gonna press into that arm to come back up. Let's twist again to the left, reach that left arm up towards the sky.
Let's twist again like we did 10 minutes ago,
And then
or 5 minutes ago.
and then we'll come back to tabletop. So there we are. We've done a nice shoulder opening to the left shoulder, left arm. So now we're gonna balance that out by doing the same thing for the other side. So now spreading the fingers really wide on the left arm, we're gonna turn to the right, reach that right arm up towards the sky, and thread the needle. Take that right arm underneath of the left arm, coming down to the right shoulder, right ear. Again, feel free to use any sort of support here if your shoulder and arm and your ear is not making it all the way to the earth. And this might be where you get off the train. You might be like, this is all I need. I'm feeling great. I'm gonna hang out here and get this stretch right here. That's great. If you feel like you want a little more, you can take that left hand into the right hand, interlace the fingers, try straightening that left arm, give you a little bit more of a twist there. And if you want to get even more pretzel-y, you can inhale that left arm up to the sky, bring it down to the back, wind it around, maybe find the outer upper right thigh.
Then, if you wish to challenge your balance, tuck the left toes, slide the left foot right back and lift it, letting it rest parallel to the ground here. Or bringing the left knee back down, tuck the left toes, slide the left foot out towards 9 o'clock on the clock face if your head is at midnight. or midday, and then lift the left foot again, letting it float parallel to the ground, really engaging the left glutes here, left butt cheek. And then when you're ready, you can bend the left knee, replace it where it was under the left hip.
And then if you have your left arm wound around, we'll inhale it back up towards the sky. We'll exhale that left hand down under the left shoulder. We're gonna press into that left hand to come back up, turn to the right, reach that right arm up towards the sky, little counter twist here, and come back to tabletop. Wow, how do those shoulders feel now?
Something special. So if you want to go a little bit more into the shoulders, let's do one last thing here from hands and knees. If you have a injured rotator cuff or tight shoulders that really don't want to be pushed to their limit, by all means, let's all start in the same place here in rabbit posture. So I'm going to come down to my forearms here. So my forearms are right below my shoulders. Take a little check, and I'm going to fold my hands in just to make sure that my forearms or my elbows are resting at shoulder width distance. Then returning my hands back to the front here, I'm going to tuck the chin and lower the crown of the head towards the mat, stretching the back of the neck here in rabbit posture. So from here, if you feel like, well, my shoulders feel great today and I want to take it to that next level, you can lift the head, walk your right hand forward about one hand's length, same with the left, and bring the heart down towards the mat, either bringing the forehead to rest on the mat like this, or if you're feeling extra open, you can bring the chin to rest on the mat like this for anahatasana, heart posture. Breathing deep. Again, tap into that 4-part breathing. As you inhale, it should be pretty easy to feel the pelvic floor expand from this position. The belly comes down towards the ground, ribs fan out, open to the side, pectorals or upper chest rise up a little bit. And then as you exhale, pectorals come back down a little bit towards the back, ribs come back in, belly comes back towards spine, pelvic floor gently lifts towards shoulder blades. You might even find as you inhale, you get a little deeper into this posture, whichever one you're doing, rabbit or heart posture. And as you exhale, you release. Then when you're ready, let's lift the head again, walk the elbows back under the shoulders, and we're gonna do a little top secret surprise. I'm gonna throw this in a little bit of abdominal strengthening because if there's time today, I would love to do a headstand. So let's prepare ourselves for that with dolphin push-ups. So here I am with my elbows right under my shoulders. I'm gonna again reach for opposite elbows just to make sure that my elbows are shoulder width distance. From here, I'm gonna bring my hands back forward again under my head and interlace both fingers. I'm gonna tuck my toes and lift my hips, bringing my knees off the ground to be in dolphin posture. It's kind of like downward facing dog. As I inhale, I'm gonna draw my body forward here, coming into a half plank. As I exhale, I'll lift my hips, drawing my head in between my hands, even in between my shoulders, coming back towards that downward facing dog posture. So let's do 10 of these. Inhaling, coming forward, exhaling, coming back. Take it at your pace. Keep an eye on those elbows. If they splay out to the side, bring them back. More than halfway done. Last one, make it count. And from here, lower the knees, bring the hips towards the knees, sliding the body back for a well-earned child's pose. The posture I always forget to teach, and I'm always happy when I remember. As you inhale again, feel the pelvic floor open, belly presses towards the thighs, ribs fan out over the lower thighs, and upper chest fans, well, sort of rises up towards the head. As you exhale, upper chest comes back towards the knees, ribs come back in, belly comes back towards the spine. Maybe the tail tucks slightly as the pelvic floor gently rises. I think it might be time to stand up. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Maybe get a little bouncing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you can slide the hands down by your side, push into the hands. Coming to this sort of hero's posture here. Bring the hands forward, tuck the toes, lift the hips, keeping the knees bent. We'll gently walk the hands back for a forward fold. Keep the knees as bent here as you need to, particularly if you have low back issues. You really want to have the low back nice and long here and not too curled over. And then when you're ready, roll our way up to standing. And you get to standing, you can roll the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale them down by the back. Sorry, what were you about to say?
Oh, nothing else was gonna say. We finally got to stand.
I know, at long last, we're standing here in.
Last 15 minutes.
Oh, no, we're going over today.
Oh, okay.
Y'all are getting extra.
It's gonna be a long one.
You'll know, you'll be able to see the timing on the YouTube video. So when you're ready, bouncing.
So just let the body bounce. You can twist it a little side to side. You can just shake out wherever you feel like you need it.
I know, that was a lot of muscle stuff.
The whole body you can shake. You can. Sometimes I like to work on one limb at a time and make sure I give it its own separate vigorous shaking. Shake the hips out, head, neck, all that stuff. Anything you like to do, however you like to shake. There's no wrong way to shake. Just give your body what it needs.
There is no wrong way to shake, but there are some loose, understandably loose guidelines to shaking. One thing is really try to keep the shake from the hips here. You don't want it to be just the shoulders, but let the whole body get in on the fun. Another loose guideline is if shaking hurts, just shake a limb. You don't have to shake the whole spine. You can shake a leg, shake another leg, an arm. You can turn your head gently, side to side, gently. Don't give yourself whiplash or anything like that. Find the shaking that suits you best. If you are one of these people where you've got a whole lot of extra and you have to get that extra out, you can jump in place if you want, that's fine too. Or maybe you don't have enough extra and you want to build some extra so you can jump in place. Otherwise, feel free to keep the shaking grounded, particularly if you're up in your head. You twist again, like you did last summer. Any other standing journal type things you want to do? I was thinking about taking us through some sleep back down again.
It's nice to open up the hips and maybe do this thing, swaying palm.
Take us there.
All right.
I'm
So
ready.
let's keep the feet kind of like match with distance, and let's get a little bit of motion into the hips. So you can just sort of roll the hips. Delicious.
Delicious. If this is not delicious for you, if you're recovering from hip replacement surgery or something like that, bring the feet a little closer together, and you could always just take the hips back and forth like this. Can you see me? There we go. that, sorry. Bumping out of balance here.
And then if you're making circles, switch the direction.
Yes, find the most delicious hip rolls that you can.
Oh, that's right.
It's Wednesday. Thank you, Baltimore City.
Like, what is all that noise out there?
They're lovingly removing our
Recycling.
recyclables.
And then let's come back to center.
Oh, this way.
You can keep the hips about where they are. And we're gonna make figure eights now with the hips. So bringing one hip forward and then back, and then the other hip forward and back.
Let's do a little more warm-ups for the spine here too at the end of class. So feel free to do a backstroke as you do this, if it makes sense to you. If not, you can just keep your hands on your hips. You could even just backstroke your shoulders from here as you keep your hands on your hips.
Then we're gonna switch the direction we're making that figure eight.
So this time drawing the hips
Drawing the hips from
forward,
back to front.
back to front.
And-
Loosen the knees.
And if you want to add arms into it, now you're swimming forward. And you can also do it with hands on the shoulders or just,
Or hands on the hips. And
Hands
just
on the
bringing
hips.
one shoulder forward,
yeah.
back to the other. This is a fun little dance. I'm gonna break this one out one day. On the dance floor, on the yoga floor.
You can dance if you want.
You can leave your friends behind you. Ow! Oh my God, this was a long time ago, B.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Another
come back
shake
to
just
center.
for
Shake it out.
old time's sake here. Shake for old time's sake. You want to do swaying palm?
Yeah, so we're gonna open up the side of the body, the rib cage, and make it nice and long here. So you can step the feet at about hips width distance, relax shoulders down the side as you take your arms out into a T. We're gonna inhale and reach, bending over to one side, take the arms like you're grabbing a giant beach ball, exhale back through center, inhale, opening to the other side, grabbing that giant beach ball. So we'll just go back and forth, expanding through the rib cage as we inhale, lengthening the sides of the body. Reach long, so we're not just collapsing into one side, or reaching long with the whole body and then sort of tilting over at the top of that reach, like a water fountain. And how it goes up and then spills over at the top.
Next time your arms come out into a T, let's inhale the arms up to the top of above the head. And let's come to the top of our mats here, even though I know you can't really see what my hands are doing. You'll figure it out in a second. So from here, bringing my feet to hips width distance, I'm going to inhale my arms over to the right. So getting a nice deep stretch to the right here. You can even bring your right hand down, slide it down along the right side of the body, and gently push into the right side of the body to get an even longer stretch to the right. So the left side of the body is nice and long here. When you're ready, we'll inhale the right arm back up. This time, exhaling, standing tall. Inhaling over to the left. We'll slide the left hand down the left side of the body here. Getting a little bit of extra here. Breathing deep. Again, inhale the left arm up. Exhale the hands down through prayer. Slide them around to the back of the body. I'll turn around so you can see what I'm doing. Either fingers pointing up, resting, hands resting at the small of the back, or fingers pointing down. Either way, we'll inhale the heart up towards the ceiling. So it's a back bend, but you don't have to go all the way back. Just go back as far as you can to keep the heart open here. Tail is tucked, legs are long. Then from here, I'm going to slide my hands over the backs of my legs, bending the knees, coming into a forward fold. So here we are in our forward fold. And somehow, magically, we're going to get into a bit of a deep stretch again for the thighs, for the quads, and for the hip flexors. So from here, bring your hands to the mat. If you need to bend your knees to do so, that's totally fine. We're going to step our left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Staying in lunge for just a second. We'll inhale the arms up for a standing lunge. We're working our way officially down here. Exhale, hands out wide and down. Interlace the fingers of both hands behind your back. Draw the hands down behind the hips to look up again. And on your exhale, we're going to fold forward, lifting the hands away from the hips, coming into a humble warrior, although the back foot is still in lunge. When you're ready, we'll release the hands, bring the hands to either side of the foot. If you want your blocks here, that's totally fine, although not super duper necessary, because we are going to lower the left knee and take both hands to the inside of the right foot.
Ooh,
For lizard.
get in it.
Well, I was chit-chatting with you last night about I missed lizard. It's been a while. Now, with lizard, you have a few options here. You can keep that left knee down, or you can keep the left knee up. That's fine. If you have a block handy,
Thank you.
you're welcome. You can place it under your chest and maybe come down the elbows on that block. And you'll see my right knee is starting to splay out to the side. So I really want to draw that right knee towards the right shoulder here. Again, left knee can be up or down, left toes can be tucked, or if your left knee is down, untuck the left toes here. If you find that that block is superfluous, you don't need it anymore, take it to the side, bring the elbows to the ground here. Getting a deep, deep, deep stretch for the back of the right hip here. And then if your left knee is up, feel free to bring your left knee down and untuck your left toes. We're going to actually push up into our hands and walk that right foot towards the left hand here. Lowering that right knee towards the right ankle. This is quite an intense pigeon posture. So if you want to put your block under your left hip or folded up blanket, right hip or folded up blanket, you can. If that's something that's not necessary for you, that's fine too. And if you want to draw the right heel towards the left hip a little bit to make it easier to get both hips down towards the ground, feel free. We'll kind of rock to the left, rock to the right, finding that centered place. You can walk the hands back, coming into your splendid king pigeon, ekapadarajakapotasana. And then it's up to you. We're going to come down here and recline fully. So you can either gently walk your hands forward, like you're in the movie Eraserhead. That's an extremely obscure reference, but he does do it in the movie. And come all the way down this way, or you can challenge that abdominal strength that you built from all those dolphin push-ups and spinning ankle and leg Hawamutasana series movements. Inhale the arms up overhead, finding your place of centeredness between the hips, and then using the core muscles, slowly lower your belly to your legs, then the hands, and possibly the head to the mat. And we'll hang out here in reclined ekapadarajakapotasana in pigeon for a few breaths. This is a great time to return to your 4-part breathing. So as we lay here, inhale, release the pelvic floor. If you're clenching the pelvic floor, no need to engage Mula Bandha here. Release the pelvic floor,
Belly comes towards legs, ribs fan out, upper chest lifts a little bit. Exhaling from upper chest, ribs, belly, pelvic floor. This is a very deep stretch. So do the movements you need to do to make this most comfortable for you. And when you're ready, you can either place the hands under the shoulders and lift your heart up away from the legs like this, or again, you want a little challenge for the abdominal muscles, extend the arms in front of you. Come up that way. Either way, rocking the hips a little bit forward. And then placing the hands right at the front of the mat. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee off the ground. Lift the right leg back, shake it, wag it, kick it to the side like you're a dog at the fire hydrant. And then we'll come back to downward facing dog here. Maybe pedaling one heel down and then the other. And then looking up towards the top of the mat, towards your hands. Let's bend the left knee now in towards the chest. Step the left hand in between. Step the left foot in between the hands. And then keeping yourself on the right toes here, so staying in your high lunge. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, arms wide and out. Bringing them down by your sides, interlacing the fingers behind the hips here. Inhaling the heart up, hands come down towards the ground. Exhale, folding forward for your humble warrior. Right foot is still up on the balls of the toes, the balls of the foot. And then when you're ready, you can place both hands on either side of the front of your mat. Maybe walking the left foot out to the left a little. You can bring the left hand on the inside of the left foot. And we'll come down for lizard on the other side. So maybe bringing your block right under your chest. You can either keep the left knee up, left toes tucked, or you can bring the left knee down. Either keep it, the right knee up, right toes tucked, or you can bring the right knee down. And if you want, you can keep the right toes tucked or untuck the right toes. From here, come down, maybe elbows to the block. Drawing the left knee in towards the left shoulder as best you can. I know it's not easy. And then if you want, you can remove the block if it's easy for you in this posture. You come down a little bit lower. And then from here, let's press into our hands coming back up. And if your right knee is up, bring your right knee down, untuck your right toes, and we'll walk that left foot towards the right wrist. Bringing that left knee towards the left wrist. Bringing the hips down either onto a block if need be, or all the way down to the ground. A block can always be a folded up blanket too. And if this is super tough for you, you can draw that left heel a little bit closer to the right hip. Walk the hands back, heart open for ekapadarajakapotasana. King pigeon. And then it's your choice. You can either come down, walking yourself down like that, or inhaling the arms up overhead and using the core
to lower yourself gently.
To the mat. Finding your comfortable reclined pigeon posture. Tapping into your 4-part breathing again as needed. And when you're ready, you can either put your hands on your shoulders and lift yourself out of the position like that. Or again, if you want to challenge your core, arms come out in front of you.
Inhale yourself back up. Either way, this time, let's let the hips, actually no, let's keep it balanced. This time, like last time, let's bring your hands to the front of the mat, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, lift the hips, and kick that left leg out, shake it out, and then bring the left foot down, coming back to your downward facing dog. Maybe shaking the tail, maybe bending one knee and then the other. And then, yogi's choice, you can either bring the knees down, and draw the hips back towards the heels again for child's pose. Excuse me.
And you can rest here in child's pose for a minute. Staying resting in child's pose. Or if you would prefer not to rest and you have
Still more energy. I threatened a headstand earlier in this practice, so I'm gonna have to deliver. For some people, headstand is easiest when they practice traditional sirsasana, where the hands are like this. So what that would look like is I'm coming to hands and knees here. I bring my elbows down to the mat, grab for opposite elbows to measure off, make sure my elbows are beneath my shoulders. Interlace the fingers of both hands. Tuck the chin, letting the head rest in that little handbasket, kind of similar to rabbit earlier. Lift the hips, walk the feet in towards the body, bend the knees, and wrap yourself up. Very nice in the headstand, as Brian is doing. Or if you're like me and your arms aren't super duper long, so when you're in this, you have to raise your shoulders, you can try tripod headstand. So this I come into kind of sort of through crow. So I'm on my toes here. I've got my hands about shoulder width distance. Come into my crow, tuck my head, let my crown of my head lower to the mat, keeping my knees on my elbows, and lift the knees off the elbows and bring them pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Then legs come up. Find something on the ground to gaze at that isn't moving here. Inhaling deeply, possibly again engaging your 4-part breathing. Exhaling completely. Then when you're ready, bending the knees, bringing them back towards the body in one way or another. Coming back down again. And most importantly, if you've done a quick and dirty headstand like we just did, bring yourself right back to child's posture. Ground yourself.
And from here, Brian, I think we're cooked.
So hang out as long as you like to in your child's pose. Eventually, we're gonna come to final relaxation pose on our backs. So however you like to get there, take your time. If there's anything else you'd like to do before coming into final relaxation, if that wasn't enough and you need to do a handstand or run around,
Stand.
run around the house or something, go for it. Other than that, the rest of us who are cooked
Us mortals.
are gonna lay on our backs, coming into final relaxation posture. So feet come out to about mat width distance and let them just relax. Hands come out maybe a couple inches away from the body, palms face up. You can tuck the tailbone slightly and tuck the chin slightly so we have a nice long neck. So if you open up your eyes, you're actually looking straight up into the sky and not off sort of behind you or down towards the floor or whatever. You can bring your heart just gently off the mat. Roll those shoulders down and back underneath of you. Gently place the heart back on the ground. And this is the part of the practice where we just relax and release. If you've been doing any breathing exercises, I know we were emphasizing 4-part breathing a lot during the practice. You can just let your breathing return to normal. We're just going to lay here for a few moments, letting the practice soak in. This is the part where all of the hard work that we did incorporates itself into the body, into the mind.
when you're ready. If you're ready. Begin to bring some life back to the fingers and toes. Rolling at the wrists and ankles. Drawing the legs together. Drawing the arms long overhead, reaching long behind you. Stretching the body long like a pencil. You can draw the knees back in towards the chest and again gently rock side to side. Maybe rolling off to one side or the other, doesn't matter which, and resting in a fetal position for just a second. Honoring your body, honoring your practice. Then when you're ready, you can push into one hand and then the other, coming back up towards the seated position. Maybe taking the time to find something comfortable to sit on. That comfortable thing might just be your butt. We'll inhale the arms out wide and up for Prana Mudra. Exhale the hands pushing down in front of us. This is a gesture of life force. Inhaling arms wide and up. Exhaling, pushing down. Sweeping the body clear of stuck energy. Last time, we'll inhale the arms wide and up. This time, draw the hands into prayer. Bringing the palms down in front of the chest. If you want to join us in an Om, you're totally welcome. Inhale. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. I thank you for practicing with us today. Namaste. Thank you much. This is our last Zoom class for a while, our last YouTube class for a while. But we are always prone to suggestion. If you want more, feel free to comment or send us a message or send us a donation. That is always a great way to encourage people to keep doing what they are doing. So thank you for practicing with us and see you later.